My research focuses on these questions about returning to play and getting activities up and running. But even with intentionality to do things differently and to attend to possible shortcomings, the focus has largely been on the return, and other concerns regarding programming, needs, or shifts in cultures have conveniently been pushed to the side. Was that pause not long enough? Was there not enough time for us to consider reshaping what we are doing? Is it even important? Were the global events around racial injustice insufficient to gain long-term traction? Were there not enough indication that things were not okay for racialized folks in Canada, in the United States, and around the globe? As I mentioned, this has been a devastating couple of years. There has been such a reckoning around race for me personally and in my professional life, which seems to be the common for those who I call the racialized willing, too often called into service because this is the opportunity to sit at the table where we have largely been excluded, to be in discussions where our opinions in the past have been dismissed or forgotten, to play in those spaces that we deserve to be, to show others there is a road to change here. We are trying to get there. We have seen commitments and actions from institutions, corporations, none more important than the professional leagues led by the WNBA, Black women leading the way again, and I complain about being exhausted. Allyship took on a new connotation for non-racialized folks and non-Black persons, where many established perspectives and ways of being in service to justice and to challenge systemic racism in our society. As much voice that those social movements commanded, it was the silence of others that was deafening. Those that chose not to engage, those that have power and privilege, yet we heard nothing. Perhaps it was an expectation that was built on a historical fantasy of Canadian racial tolerance and multiculturalism, that there was no problem here, perhaps. Yet really, truly, all I wanted to hear was, we are sorry. We cannot imagine what you're going through. We are here for you. We support you. Sometimes the statements may seem trite, rehearsed, or just virtue signaling of a perfunctory, yes, we're on it. And of course, that would strike the wrong chord. But as a bridge towards empathy and compassion of our pain, our hope, our future, offering no acknowledgement hit well below the belt into a different weight class. This is where I locate myself within the messiness of those questions and the need to address our journey forward. Where do I belong in this dialogue? What is my relationship to all that has happened? Who am I to be in front of you today? And should I even entertain such lofty hopes for future states of being for people who already do not feel valued, respected, or necessarily safe in the sport? I wonder.